Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so and like the video on your way out or on your way in, whichever way. I'm good. Now, let's have a discussion about Southampton because we're playing Southampton on Thursday morning. If you are in Australia, and if you're in the UK, I think it's probably Wednesday night, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Southampton. As usual, people, let's react to the press conference. Guys, I tell you this. It's never a good press conference. I think this whole season, there's only one press conference that I listened to, and I'm like, yeah, this was a good press conference. And I think one of our Chelsea supporters who works at the Sky Sport, I think her name is Ray. I think she's the only one that actually held a press conference, which I can say, yeah, she was asking like football related questions in terms of style of play, players, wasn't asking rubbish questions like today. They were literally asking Maresca if he had had a conversation with the owners and they wanted to know what they spoke about. Seriously, like I'm just listening at that press conference. I'm like, you know what? Maybe next time, just don't give us one. Now, the important thing that we need to know from the press conference, as usual, it's this the injuries, because obviously we want to know which players are available and which players aren't available. So when we do our prediction, we know what we know, what we're facing, and what's to come from Chelsea. Now, in terms of injuries, I think there's only Reece James and Wesley Fofana. Those are like the confirmed one. With Reece James, as always, we're not that surprised, are we? And also with Fofana, I think we saw it from from the previous game we played against Aston Villa when he injured himself, and hopefully it won't be for a long time. Maybe 3-4 weeks. But some were saying that we might actually see him in 2025. Which, I mean, the good part about Chelsea right now is we do have depth, so you can play Badia Sheila there, and I think he's been doing all right. Now, Disasi maybe not, but you can also play Tosin as well, which, I mean, the times that he has played, he's actually been all right. Now, for me, it actually hurts me because Colwill and Fofana, they were starting to build a relationship there, which is something we've been asking for. Because when you look at teams like Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, their central defenders, they've built chemistry over time. And as of Chelsea, we've been changing. Sometimes we play Tosin, sometimes Badia Sheila, sometimes Disasi and Colwill, So we wanted a pair of central backs that can build some sort of chemistry and cohesion. That way, going forward, the understanding within the team will be much, much better. But with the injury of Fofana, I think it was just a matter of time, because we already know like the guy is a bit fragile since he had that knee injury when he was playing for Leicester City. It's been ugly for him. I think the other point I want to discuss about is the title race point, because they did ask him again about whether he still thinks we're not in the title race. Now, a lot of people might say we are in the race until we're not. So if we are on the same points with Arsenal, and probably we play a better style of play or a better football than Arsenal, and we have better depth than Arsenal as well, you can sort of make an argument to say, listen, Chelsea, they might as well be in a title race conversation. But then if you want to talk about who's going to win the race, maybe that's when you might not put Chelsea, because obviously we don't have the experience. We don't have the players that have done it over time. When you look at our players, we're all young, and, we haven't actually competed at the highest level. Now, when you look at teams like Man City, yes, of course, right now they're not really, really performing well, but they do have players that have done it and they've won it. In the Champions League, they've won it. In the Premier League as well, they've won it. FA Cup, they've won it all. So, and you still have players that actually won the World Cup as well. So in terms of like, us getting it over the line, I think that's what's going to stop us. Because at the end of the day, I don't think we can, we are able to go on like 5-6 game run. Now we'll see, because I think from here onwards until like January, we have like a favorable, run of games. So hopefully we can capitalize on that. So even if we end up dropping points at the back end of, the season, it might not affect us, as much as it would have if we don't pick up points in these kind of games that we're going to play in the next couple of games. But yeah, in my opinion, I do think that we're in the race. But obviously a conversation of winning it's a different one, because we don't know. Now, apart from that, there was nothing really in the press conference. They were talking about Ruud van Nistelrooy and how he gave a call to Maresca. Like, who cares? Like, this is not Leicester Football Club, it's Chelsea. Ask Chelsea related questions. And I think if I was in there, I would have actually done a better job. Anyway, maybe not. But yeah, so let's have a look at Southampton, because if I sit here and say I watch and tell you guys that I watch Southampton each and every week when they play, I'll be lying, because I don't. I don't. But one thing that I do is I can watch them when they're playing big teams, like when they played Man City, I was watching the game, and when they played Liverpool, I was watching the game as well. Now, I think when it comes to Southampton, they're just like any other newly promoted team, a bit naive at the same time, because when I look at them, right, I look at a team that wants to play as if like they're Man City or Chelsea or Arsenal. I think they want to play and they want to keep the ball as much as they can. They don't even want to play deep. They want to play from the back as well. Now, if you watch the game against Liverpool, they were winning in that game. They could have actually come out there with a point, but they were so much naive that they wanted to pass from the back, and then it costed them. It costed them, because what you do is you don't have the quality of players to play from the back, and that's what you want to do. So you end up having to make mistakes, and then you pay for it, which is what they did. So I'm hoping that they will do the same with us. I want them to play from the back, because I know Jackson, Palmer, Neto, Sancho, they can press up high. So with our type of press, if we can press the way we pressed Aston Villa in their boxes, making Emi Martinez making mistakes, you do that against Chelsea, I tell you, you will pay for it. So that's what I'm hoping, because each and every time I go into these matches, especially against the newly promoted team, I'm always hoping that they don't sit deep and wait for us to come in their box, because again, with Chelsea, we don't have we do have the type of players to break the lines or to play in between, or to break the low block teams, but sometimes it just does seem not to go our way. And I'm hoping that we do play a team like Southampton, or I'm hoping that Southampton won't rectify their mistakes of trying to play from the back, and they do the same with us, because if they do that, for sure we're going to capitalize on that. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about concerning this game is we're playing Southampton, right? And I'm expecting players like Joao Felix, Christopher Nkunku to play. I'm expecting probably half of the team that we used to play in the Conference League to actually come in the first team and actually play. Maybe then we can raise a couple of players like Nicholas Jackson and give, time to Nkunku and Felix, because I do think that we don't really have to strengthen for Southampton. Now, I'm not saying that they're that bad, but if I'm comparing with their previous games which I've watched, I think Chelsea, it should be an easy win for us. Now we're playing away, and our away form has been great as well. So yeah, man. So I do think that Chelsea here needs to come up with the 3 points, and this is the kind of games where maybe you need to start bringing the Kani Chukwuemekers, and give other people time. I know we've been doing it in the press and the Conference League, but I think against Southampton, it's okay to do it. Yeah, man. That's just what what I was about, what I needed to say for this video. But apart from that, man, my prediction, I'm not gonna do the lineup, because like again, I'm expecting a rotation, and I don't know if we were playing another team that is different from Southampton, I would probably have much more idea on which players we would start. But because Southampton, I'm expecting Maresca to do what he did at Leicester City, where he actually benched Lavia. I think no Casado played, but just to give other players, chance to start, the likes of Joao Felix, Christopher Nkunku, maybe in this game start Madueke, and maybe rest Pedro Neto as well for the Spurs game, because we need his pace and we need his quality as well. So maybe start Madueke as well. Maybe rest Sancho, since he started the game against Aston Villa. Maybe play Mudryk, because I think that will be like his type of game. So yeah, man, that's something that I'm looking forward to see. But yeah, man, my prediction, I'm just gonna go with like, I don't think we'll concede in this game. So if we can play the way we played Aston Villa in terms of obviously Sanchez, I do think that we can keep another clean sheet here. So I'm gonna go 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 to Chelsea, because I think we are much of a better team than them. And yeah, man, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one, which will be the review, obviously.